All right, I am feeling a lot better. I'm feeling great actually. And this mindset is changing my life. And what I mean by that is I just filmed the first episode of my podcast, or it's not even official yet, but I don't know. I'm starting, okay? And it felt good to just start. But the thing about it is, I've been thinking about, I guess, the future business I want to run and create, the future, I guess, career and the type of entrepreneur I want to be in the future. And with that and supplementing the business is going to be content. But if I'm not consistent, if I'm not consistently posting and doing these things, like I'm not going to be able to achieve this future of financial freedom for my family and my future community. So I think a big part of that vision is being consistent right now. And I was thinking of another Hormozi clip I saw, and this I remember more. And he was pretty much talking about, like, when you think about your future goals and you think about whether they will succeed or not, how can you create a reality in which you are too good to fail? How can you be too good to fail? And that same thing for him. Like, he was just like, man, that really hit me, and that's hitting me right now. And when I think about, I guess, the aspect of content creation and being consistent, like, how can I create a reality where I at least get out one video per week? How can I do that? How can I be so consistent over time? How can I be so good over time that I am too good, too consistent to fail? What would that reality look like? And I think if we step into that reality, whatever goal we have, it doesn't even have to be content creation. It can be anything. The gym. It can be the job you have, the the relationship you have with your girl. Like, how can you be too good to fail? How many days in the gym, what foods would you be eating that would make it too good for you to fail and not hit your goals? Um, how how many hours in the week would you have to put in that would be too good for you to fail? How many videos or books could you read or look into about your relationship? How many hard conversations or therapy sessions would it take for your marriage to be too good to fail? Like, I'm just thinking about that. It can go on and on, like, so many things. But I'm just thinking about that, and I'm like, man, I feel like if we really step into that, and the more we take action instead of just constantly ruminating and thinking about all the different ideas we may have or the goals we may have, and like, oh, maybe I'll hit it, maybe I won't. I don't know if I can do this. But instead of just being stuck in this cycle of procrastination and not taking action, and we actually took action and asked ourselves, how can we become too good to fail? And we act on that, it's it's just night and day. And that's kind of why I wanted to start this podcast itself. This will be episode two. And I think, man, like, I think this is a start. Like, I'm sure there are more things I am not aware of or don't know in terms of how I can be better and be even more good to not fail. But this is a start. And I think if I film at least one video a week where I just give a message or something that's on my mind, and I have something valuable in here, and I don't have to edit it too much. I don't have to worry about captions or lighting or having a second camera. I can just focus on one to one and talk, and then put it in my computer, hit post. Like, that is so much easier than having to worry about edits and stuff and everything, or scripting, even though I don't script anymore. But like, just thinking about what's the minimum I can do to get the most amount of results. What's the step one? I think, again, too many people focus on. I focus on trying to get the biggest, having the most perfect thing out, creating the most perfect thing, or having the most perfect action to make progress. And it's like, sometimes you just got to focus on doing a bunch of the little things over and over, and that's what's going to bring you forward. And so that's the little thing, is this. And yeah, it's little, and I think the more I do this over a bunch of times, like, it's going to pay off. um something Mr. Beast, I guess the king of YouTube, Mr. Beast, he said, like, he tells new creators, like, if you don't even have 100 videos out, like, don't even worry about views. Like, you just need to keep posting. And if you post and post and post, just focus on volume, getting out as much as you can, and focus on improving something each time, improving something each post and video. That is where the magic is going to happen when the more action you take. Consistency is important with or paired with the idea of improving something each time. I think it's important. I don't want to. I'm not saying that we should become flies that keep running into the window and banging their head on the window over and over, trying to get out of the house. But I do think we should be banging our head on the window, then looking around to see if there's another open window, and then making our way towards that window and flying out the house and flying towards success and actually hitting our goals. And that is the idea of this. And so, volume, I just think the more is often better. And so, yeah, more action. That's it. Taking more action. And yeah, yeah. What was the next thing I wanted to mention? Oh yeah. I listened to a podcast recently, and they were just talking about making music. And I know this is completely weird, like completely off topic, but just stay with me, okay? They were talking about making music, and the two on the right, they're still fairly new in their music careers, while the one on the hold on, let me fix it because this is your right here. So the two on the right were fairly new in their music careers. The one on the left was fairly advanced. Like he's had the most success out of the three already. And in that, the two that were fairly new were focusing a lot on the little small things in the songs, like trying to make the best song in the day. Like their typical day in the life of making music was focusing on making one song as good as possible in one day. But it wasn't until they met him where he was like, he focuses on making 5, 7, 10 songs in a day and then finding the best song out of those 10 and posting that one, or at least moving forward. But the difference was the one that was most successful was like, I don't even focus on the little things that you guys are talking about. I just go, like I just post. I just try to get as much out as possible because you're going to see much more progress in posting and creating a bunch and then having 10 songs that are out and then maybe 3 of those songs pop off versus focusing on one song and trying to make it perfect and then maybe having it pop off, but most likely it doesn't. And I'm struggling to explain it like perfectly. To me, I feel like all of that sounded jumbled, but uh, the idea was like the most successful one wasn't focused on trying to make the most perfect song or the most perfect action. He was just focused on, hey, how can I make as much as possible while trying to improve something each time? And I think that's part of a big part of the reason why he is the most successful in that group so far is because he's just gone go. And I think I met him Tuesday and he was talking about how he's been posting I think every 2 weeks since 2023. Yeah, I think so. Every other week since 2023, and he's had over 70 songs. I actually don't know. I don't know the exact number, but he's just really consistent. He actually posted yesterday too. Um, and he was just like, he told me, he was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, like the moment I got consistent, I just focused on getting my music out and posting as much as possible on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Like that's where the magic started to happen. And he's doing many great things. Most of his career, he produces for Connor Price and people like Nick D. Um, and he's also creating a name for himself as well. But it's like just seeing that and seeing how much he's just on go. It's like it was inspiring. And so I've been thinking about doing this and starting this for a while, but that was something that helped me, I guess, push through and move the needle. So yeah, I guess the mindset he's moving in is like, how can I, and I would say that the mindset he's moving in is, he's saying, how can I be too good to fail? And he's pushing through. He's working. He's putting in the action. He's having the mindset shift, but also having the action shift of thinking about the future goals he wants to do and taking action towards them. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying action so much, but that's the idea. And that's what I wanted to share for this second episode, because I truly believe if I continue to ask myself that question of how can I be too good to fail, and if you ask yourself that question and you act on the answer to that question, you will see more progress than you ever seen before. And you might surprise yourself, and you might find the magic you're looking for, because the magic we're often looking for is in the work we're not doing. So I'll leave you with that. I think I'm done. Okay, 11 minutes, not bad. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Oh, didn't even turn. Okay.